welcome back to the channel. Today we have the keys to this. It is a 2004 ST220 Mondeo. As you can see, it's not standard whatsoever. So what I'm going to do first is go through this car. Now, the first thing that people are probably going to ask is, why would you do this to a Mondeo? Why not? I mean, to me, I love different, so this is definitely different. What we're going to start with is probably one of the best features of this car. Really sorry about the wind noise today. Unfortunately, it is insane at the moment, but I have the key and it has this fob on it that actually controls the air ride. So as you can see by the title, this thing is on bags. It is running BC coilovers with bags over the top. So if we bring the back down, as you can see, it sits absolutely lovely, and the front all the way down. Now, I love air ride on cars. I am an air ride fan at the end of the day, so this stanced out, sat on the floor, looks absolutely insane. So what we'll do is we'll go around the bodywork first. As you can see, it is purple. Now, when I say purple, it is the richest, glittery, lovely purple I have seen in a very long time on a car. Resprayed a few years ago from the original blue into this purple colour. It looks fantastic. Coming up the front, we have the Joker badging just there with a smooth front bumper, carbon fibre lip just down there with green accents, because that is the theme of this car. We have carbon fibre vents in the bonnet as well. And as you can see, you may or may not have noticed, this thing is actually wide arched. Now, it isn't wide arched in the sense that it's got bolt-on arches on it, but this thing has actually been pulled properly and smoothed and widened. So as you can see, the fronts are a lot wider than a standard ST220. It also has these RS Mark 1 vents in there with a little green accent that you may not notice when this car is sat in front of you, but the small details are really what make this car fantastic. Now, coming up front, you have big brakes on the front of this car. Now, these wheels are a really good talking point because they are one of one, so only one set in existence at the moment, and they are by a company called CMST Alloys, fully forged, and they look absolutely fantastic on this car. Now, the real talking point about this is that it's actually sat on 20-inch by 10-inch at the front, so tucking 20-inch by 10 on the front and 20 by 11 J on the rear. So this is a lot of wheel and tyre combination to actually put on a Mondeo. If you know your Mondeos, this is sat fantastically considering how big these wheels are. As you can see at the back as well, we have a complete custom smoothed in widened arch to go with the fat stance that we have on this car. It is, in person, absolutely insane to see a Mondeo this low and this wide, tucking 20-inch wheels. It is done so well and so properly. Now, coming around the rear, we have a custom made rear valance or diffuser. It's actually off a Honda Jazz. Very interesting, something that again you wouldn't really notice unless it was pointed out. It also has this custom carbon fibre secondary wing on top of the boot. As you can tell, this thing has a lot of custom work, because at the end of the day, you can't buy a lot of things for these ST220s. So even down to the side skirts just along here are from a BMW, and they've been custom cut and coloured to actually fit onto this car. So huge amount of work on this thing, and I think it pulls it off very well. And the stance and how this thing sits is absolutely insane. Now, coming under the engine bay, as you can see, it is sheer madness under here. So going with the purple and the green look of this car, we have a fully coloured green and purple engine bay with loads of coloured green and purple bits. It is just phenomenal work. Even the underneath of the bonnet is in the green. Airbrushing on the engine covers coming down to these custom Joker painted tops on the suspension. It is just so well done. I understand there might be people out there like, oh, I don't like it, I don't like the colour scheme, but appreciate how much work has gone into this thing. That's the bit I appreciate the most, is the work involved in getting something to this level. Painted, airbrushed, cleaned. It is just a work of art in that sense, that there is so much done to this thing. It's insane. And in person, I plead you, if you ever do see this, please have a good look around it, because you'll really appreciate how wide it is, how much colour is in this engine bay, and how well done the work is. The work is just on another level. And unfortunately, in the car scene these days, there isn't too much of this sort of work going around, where the work really speaks for itself. Depending on if you like the colour purple or the colour green, it's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how well this thing is put together, how good the wide arches are, how amazing this paint is. You just don't see cars built like this these days, and that's the bit I love the most about this car. The attention to detail and how much work has been carried out to make this thing look and sit just the way the owner wanted to is just phenomenal. So I'm super impressed with this thing. The level of work is really where it's at for me on this car. Anyway guys, enough of me blabbering. Let's jump in this thing. Let's go for a little drive, see what this thing is like on bags with 20s with that V6 up front. So, 20s, air ride, bright purple, green bits on it. What's it like to drive an ST Mondeo on 20-inch wheels? Well, to be honest, we're down a really bad bit of the industrial estate where I shoot these things, and it's well comfy. The Recaros in these Mondeos, I have to say, are probably one of the comfiest seats you can get in any four-door car. These seem to be so well built from the factory, I think, that they just are comfy. Now, don't get me wrong, when you modify something, especially when you lower it, it does become a little bit choppy, I think the word is. This isn't like that. Yes, there's a little bit here and there, but considering this thing is on rubber band tyres with 20-inch wheels with an 11J out the back, if you're not into wheel specs, that is huge. It's actually massive. But the fact this thing is on bags does retain some sort of comfort. Retaining comfort is key in cars that I like anyway, but this thing sounds so good. These V6 petrol engines, when fettled with the exhaust system, sound phenomenal. Yes, I get it. People don't like purple cars with green bits on it and blah, 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 blah. This, though, is up there with one of the finest modified cars I have ever driven. It drives so lovely. It is well engineered down to the stance, the way it drives. Everything is just well done. The attention to detail with a build like this, you know, is properly done. This isn't just a couple of stickers slapped on a car and it's lowered and hope for the best. This is meticulously done, this car, and I understand there will be people in the comment section giving it the big one, saying that this is a bad thing and oh god, it's so bad. You have to appreciate cars like this, because this is what keeps the scene alive. It's different. Different is key. Well done. This car is insanely done. Just down to the arches. They're so lovely draped over those 20-inch wheels. People see past that sometimes. You see past the well-built side of cars and they just see a purple Mondeo. Why would you do that to a Mondeo? That's not what's going on here. You need to appreciate cars and appreciate that something like this has been so well done, even down to the drive. It is so comfy in here. It's not choppy. It sits on the road lovely. It's incredibly grippy as well because of the width of the tyres and the wheels. It's cars like this people need to appreciate, because although it might not be your taste, you know, the colours or whatever, you need to appreciate the time, the cost, the energy, the enthusiasm that's been put into a car like this. And that for me is why I love cars. People building stuff properly over time, meticulously, down to every single detail. That's why I like the car scene. That's what cars are about for me. Anyway, guys, if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a positive comment below. Positivity is key. Why be negative about things? And remember to smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you all
on the next one.